Hi everyone, my name is Jayme and I'm a seasonal farmhand here at Pitney Meadows Community Farm. And I'm going to show you a little bit about making a bouquet and how to care for cut flowers today. Okay, so we're sunscreened up, we have our tools, we're ready to go harvest. So some quick tips and tricks here. You'll want to harvest early in the morning when the flowers are fully hydrated, or in the evening when the sun is setting. Right now the sun is out, but it is gorgeous and breezy, so these will do just fine. We are here in the zinnia patch. These are very lovely flowers, very easy to grow, cut and come again. And when we're cutting the zinnias, we want to be sure to cut deep. So the reason for cutting deep is because we want to stimulate more growth from the bottom of the plant. Because when we're not cutting deep, we go to sleep. We go to seed very quickly. So here you can see this was not cut deep. This is still very short and it's doing its job going to seed. However, we don't want them to go to seed because we want to make beautiful bouquets all summer long. Now this zinnia right here has been harvested correctly. As you can see, if you go all the way down, someone has cut that deep. So now we have this gorgeous bloom ready to be harvested. So we're going to take our very sharp snips. We're going to go in here carefully at an angle just above the node. And that's where the branch comes out. Here we have this beautiful long stem, which makes it a lot easier to build your bouquet. These two, don't worry about it. You're gonna love the flower that comes from beneath the plant once it starts reaching up to the sun. And there you go. Be sure to cut it at an angle because you don't want your stem taut against the glass. You want it to be able to drink up its water. And by doing this, we can guarantee that it'll get some water in your stem. And once you harvest your blooms as such, you'll want to bring them inside, get them in a bucket of water, let them hydrate, and really get lush and beautiful before working with them because they'll be sturdy, hydrated, healthy, and firm. And then once you get them into your actual vase where you're going to keep your blooms, just check the water every so often. Does it look murky? Does it look healthy? Is it almost gone? You want to keep it, pretty full. Flowers love water. They love drinking up the water. And zinnias, of course, we pick at the wiggle test when they're nice and stiff, so these are perfect. However, other flowers such as cosmos, you're going to want to pick these when they're basically closed. Sometimes people call it the marshmallow stage. So it's kind of like this. This is just about to bud. Now, if you want to cut very deep on these, this hasn't been cut deep yet. So this is just kind of taking the top here. And then you strip all of these off as well. So these blooms, the ones that are closed, are going to open and be just perfectly gorgeous because they haven't been pollinated yet, and similar to this. But once they're pollinated, they're being signaled to make seed, make seed, make seed. So here you can see this is making seed. These are all going to eventually fall off and die. However, if these were deadheaded and they weren't trying to make seed, then more blooms would come off. And if you cut deep, then even more stems will reach to the sky and continually bloom throughout summer, the entire summer. It's wild. This is a perfect example of not deadheading your stems or cutting long because there are no new branches pushing out. Typically, if you cut deep, these would not happen. They would have beautiful long stems and bigger blooms. And because these have not been cut long, they're all floppy and they're all gonna go to seed now. So, no. So now we're in the Cosmo patch. Cosmos are a great addition to any bouquet because they're whimsical and bouncy and everyone just loves them. And they make tons of seeds. Now you can either save seeds or just take your seed head right here. See all of that goodness? Seeds. And you can just see here, hundreds of seeds, and you can just sprinkle them in your garden for this year. Maybe they'll come this year, maybe they'll come next. Or you can just pluck off these heads and save them for next year. Another example here. How cool is that? Like, look at all these seeds, it's amazing. Isn't that amazing? I love it. All right, I hope these tips and tricks are helpful for you when cutting flowers. I do encourage you to pick a beautiful bouquet, put them on your kitchen counter, and literally watch them come to life from start to finish, and you'll be amazed.